Jump ropes, long handle, short handle. Coach Berek here, Equity Podcast, giving you tools to be fit for life. We're going to break down long handles versus short handles in the jump rope. So, first thing is the long handle. So, long handle is going to be probably about 6 inches, maybe a little bit bigger than that. It's going to be about this big. It's going to be a little bit fatter at the bottom, and it's going to get skinnier as it goes up the rope, and you hold it on that fatter side. And then you're going to hold it close to the bottom, or you're going to hold it at the bottom, and there's going to be a lot of handle sticking out. And that brings us to like the first major point of why a long handle might be appropriate. And that is we can get a bigger circle when we're jumping rope, and that bigger circle can cause more whip. We have a little bit more control over that circle. We have more, not necessarily more control, but we have a wider range of control. There's a little bit more that this long handle can do. It has a much more wider range of the types of things that it can do because that longer handle, we can get different and larger ranges of motion with that circle when we're jumping, or that's whatever that movement pattern is that we're jumping. The wider range of control. The second thing that we really like is because of that wider range of control, it's a much easier rope to get into for beginners. Beginners generally have their technique can be erratic, and they need some room for forgiveness for technique, and a longer handle can give us that little buffer that we need in order to dial that technique down. So with that long handle, if I can make that circle bigger, if I can get a little bit more whip, we can it gives us a lot more forgiveness in our movement pattern for that movement. If we're doing single unders or double unders or whatever, because I can get a little bit bigger range of motion, I'm going to be able to have some room for error in my jump. Um, and then the other thing is it's just going to feel different. When you have that handle, it's going to be longer on one side and it's going to be thinner. That's going to be the lighter side, and it's going to be a little heavier and thicker on the bottom. And what a lot of people do is they like the feel of that. They can feel the handle in general is also going to be heavier. So what that means is they're going to be able to feel where that rope is. One of the issues when we start working with a speed rope is that people can't feel the rope. They can't feel it going around in the beginning. So having a handle that's a little bit heavier and a little bit longer, you can feel that whip. You can feel that movement a little bit better. And like I said, because of that, beginners tend to really like the longer handles. Um, that weight and that weight's going to be a little bit distributed. Like I said before, we're going to have it's going to be thinner, a little bit lighter at the top, it's going to be thicker on the bottom. So it's going to be a little bit more of a weighted distribution. Like it's going to feel different in the hand as well compared to the short handle. So that's kind of breaking down the long handle. For the short handle, whereas the long handle had um, this wide area of control, the shorter handle is going to be much more precise. It's going to be much more of a precision tool. So the circle, the range of motion of that rope is going to be much smaller. You're not going to be able to get to these really big circles. However, because of the precision that you're going to be able to have with the small handles, like every little bit of that hand movement is going to be the wrist movement is going to be translated into a movement for the rope. So you have that precision, that just that little movement is going to go right into the rope. So very, very precise. When you do something, it's going to do that thing. And because of that precision, because of the smaller handle, we're also going to have an increased speed as well, right? If I have to go, if my long handle is a 4-inch circumference circle, and now with the small handle, I'm a uh, 2-inch circumference circle. If I'm going the same speed, I can go faster with that 2-inch circle, even if I'm going the same speed, because there's less distance to go. So with that shorter handle, we're going to have increased speed in our movements. We're going to be able to go faster, and that's relative, right? In general, if I do those, you have two different ropes, same person, the shorter handle person is going to be a little bit quicker. So we have speed, smaller circles, we have precision with those handles. You're just going to be able to move right. That movement from the wrist is going to go right to the rope. And then we talked a little bit about the weight distribution of and the construction of the handle. The handle for the short one is going to be very balanced, right? It's going to be a little bit shorter, going to be probably about 4 inches, and then the weight distribution is going to be the same throughout the entire handle. You're not going to have a lighter part and a heavier part. It's just going to be the same weight distribution throughout the whole handle, and that can feel a lot. It can feel more balanced because of that, because it is balanced. But on the flip side, like I said, if you're a beginner, that can be hard because you might not be able to feel the rope. You might not be able to feel where the rope is or where your handles are if we don't have that technique and that feeling for the rope. Now, so those are kind of the major differences. So we have the long rope, a little more range of motion, more variety, more areas of use. For the shorter handles, we got precision and speed. And then the long handle also ease of use, being able to jump right into it. Very good for beginners. So when I'm picking a rope, do I want long? Do I want short? Whenever people ask me in the gym about a recommendation on something like this, I always tell them, hey, this is what I use. However, that doesn't mean it's the right thing for everybody. So, what I suggest is, hey, find somebody who has a long handle rope, find somebody that has a short handle rope, and try both of them, right? Ask them to borrow and see what feels good to you. And then, you know, go from there. But in general, the first question that we want to ask is, what's the purpose? Like, why do we want to get a rope? Do we want to get the rope for just doing a bunch of different types of jumping rope? Do we want to do like single unders, double unders, triple unders? Do we want to do some tricks like crossovers? And like there's a whole world of just jumping rope out there. If you want to get a little bit more into that type of stuff, a long handle is just going to be more versatile. It can, because of that wider range of motion, it's going to be able to handle more things. It's going to be able to do more. If on the flip side of that, we're doing it for CrossFit, we're doing it for competition, then the shorter handle's gonna, in the long run, gonna be the better option because it's faster, because it has that precision. We're gonna be able to dial that in, and if the goal is to compete, then we want the thing that is faster, that's gonna let us do more work in less time. Generally speaking, the next one is skill. Where are you at on your journey? Have you jumped rope before? Have you not jumped rope since, you know, kindergarten or, grade school? Then maybe we want to start with the long handle jump rope and, just start with a cheaper long handle. And then as you go along in your journey, hey, I've gotten really good at this. I can go 75 unbroken double unders. Then we can start talking about, hey, let's try a short handle and really start dialing that in. What's your skill level? Where are you at? And then the last one is just personal preference. We have people that are really, really good at double unders, that really they're competitive. They like doing competitions and they like doing that. And they just like the long handles better. So that's what they use. And there's nothing wrong with that. These are just general. This is your personal preference. If you feel more comfortable, if you feel you perform better with that long handle, then use the long handle. On the flip side, we have people that aren't in the competition at all. They're just here to be healthy and fit and do their thing and live, just build health and fitness to live their life. and they like the short handles. It just feels better for them, and that's okay too. We're just trying to give you that information and be like, hey, this is probably a road to go down, but if it's not quite right, let's try the other one. Jumping rope's a lot of fun. It, there's a lot more than just double unders and single unders. Have fun with the rope. Skip. Do your best Rocky impression. Try some, double dutch. Try different things with it and just have fun with it. One of the things that can happen when we're trying to learn how to jump rope, it's a lot of coordination. It's a lot of timing. It's a lot of balance. It's a lot of accuracy. It's a lot of skill work, and that can be very frustrating. So make sure you're having fun with it. Doing EMOMs is a great way to get better at jumping rope. You start with one, and then you start to five, and you slowly build your way up, but give yourself enough rest time. We want to practice technique when we're rested. We don't want to practice technique when we're tired. So EMOMs are a great way to do that. Start with 5 double unders every minute for 10 minutes and build up over time over that. I hope this helps. What is your favorite type of handle? What type of rope do you like? There's weighted ropes, there's weighted handles. What are the type of ropes that you like? Are you a short handle? Are you a long handle? Let me know. Comment below. If you think this might help somebody, please share it with them. If you know somebody who's always having trouble with some jump ropes and they're not sure what handle they should use, send this to them. We want more happy, healthy people in the world, and if jumping rope can spark something in them, let's do it. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to add another tool to your toolbox. Cheers.